Out there, miles from help, no cell signal, no backup, just you.
Hello?
A thin tent wall and whatever's moving beyond it. Camping becomes less about peace and more about survival. Tonight we're diving into 7 of the most disturbing, unsettling, and downright terrifying camping encounters ever caught on camera. Real footage, real fear, and moments that'll make you question if you ever feel safe pitching a tent again. Because when you're surrounded by trees, what's hiding in the dark is always closer than you think. Let's begin. Back in March of 2025, a YouTuber that was big on camping videos named Daniel Mark Brown decides to pull off a stealth camping trip in the woods near Austria, England. Now, for those not familiar, stealth camping is when you set up camp somewhere you're technically not supposed to be, and the goal is to stay completely under the radar. Daniel's plan? Follow a hiking trail for a bit, and then veer off into the woods and find the perfect hidden spot to set up for the night. And honestly, it worked like a charm. Better than he expected, actually. He found a solid little hideout in no time, tucked away where no one would stumble across him. He dropped off his gear, then headed to a nearby river to cook up some food. After eating, he made his way back to the camp, and by then, the sun was going down and the trail traffic was pretty much gone. It felt peaceful, quiet, perfect for a chill night. But that's when things took a weird turn. About 90 minutes after he passed out in his sleeping bag, Daniel gets jolted awake by the sound of something.
I'm almost too scared to breathe here. I think a dog or something just came in.
Branches cracking nearby. Then there's a flashlight cutting through the dark, and he starts freaking out quietly.
Oh, that's right. They're looking straight at me.
He thinks maybe it's a dog that wandered in, but it's the light that really gets him. Someone's definitely out there, and they're pointing a flashlight right at him. He doesn't know what else to do, so he calls out just a simple, "Hello."
Hello?
But instead of answering, this person just turns around, completely silent, and walks back into the woods. Light off, gone. Now Daniel's really freaked. He sits there for a while, not seeing or hearing anything else, just trying to stay calm. You can tell he's shaken. And he packs up fast and gets the hell out of there.
I haven't seen a single light now for maybe 5-10 minutes. I don't even know. I've been just trying to keep as calm as possible, but when they walked off and the light went out, I don't even know which direction they were. I'll forget it. Let's just go.
Now, was it just some random person walking their dog who got just as freaked out hearing someone yell from the shadows? Maybe. But the way that they didn't say a word and just vanished without a trace, that's the part that sticks with you. This could have been innocent, or they might have had something darker in mind until they realized Daniel was awake. Either way, he got out safe, but that was way too close for comfort. Guess It Official, a YouTuber who's known for diving headfirst into some seriously haunted spots, decides to do a solo camping trip. But this ain't just any camping vlog, it's a creepy one. Real creepy. The kind where you instantly think, why would anyone do this alone? He heads out to this forest area that's got a very messed up past. Local legend says that it's haunted by a woman who died in a pretty tragic way.
Jadi pada tahun 2018 atau 2019 teman-teman di lokasi ini pernah ditemukan sosok mayat perempuan teman-teman. Jadi kata temanku itu si perempuan selalu dibuang di lokasi sini teman-teman. Ya sempat menggemparkan warga setempat sih. Dan yang lebih tragisnya itu teman-teman, si mayatnya itu ditemukan sudah 4 hari 7 harian gitu teman-teman, dan udah menimbulkan bau-bau busuk dan ditemukan oleh warga yang sedang mencari kayu bakar di lokasi sini teman-teman, dan curiga tahu soalnya tuh.
Most people wouldn't even think to walk their dog there. But this dude, he sets up camp right on top of it. At first, everything seems chill. He's cooking, sipping on hot chocolate, cracking a few jokes to the camera, just trying to keep the vibes as light as possible. But even then, you can tell he's really not feeling totally at ease. He says the air feels heavy, like someone's watching him. Not the kind of thing you want to hear when you're alone in the woods. As the sun dips, things start getting weird. Weird noises start echoing through the trees. Shadows flicker just outside of his campsite, and the calm starts slipping into a straight-up unease. Then we get the backstory. So apparently, back in 2018 or maybe 2019, someone found a decomposed body buried right where he's camping. A woman who had gone missing. They only found her because someone caught a whiff nearby of something rotten while gathering firewood. Since then, people claim to have seen a ghostly woman in white with long messy hair and a twisted face, roaming the woods. Trying to catch anything unusual, he sets a camera outside of his tent and tries to sleep. But right around 11:30 p.m., a loud bang wakes him up. Then, crying. Like actual crying in the middle of nowhere. He scrambles to check his camera, but of course the battery's dead, conveniently right before the noise. He grabs his flashlight and steps outside, and that's when he sees it, a white figure in the dark. As he gets closer, his camera starts glitching, something that weirdly happens a lot in his haunted videos. It's colder now, and suddenly something brushes his ear, cold like ice.
Halo? Siapa kamu? Tuh berding. Semua lu. Asam. Ih, Pablo Akbar. Siapa ini? Ih, ada megang kupingku teman-teman.
That's when he really starts to freak out. This isn't some fake ghost hunting show. You can tell he's genuinely scared. He starts praying out loud, basically begging to make it out in one piece. And in the end, he slowly backs out of the forest, visibly shaken, thanking his viewers and hoping that that's the last of it. And that's what makes this video hit so hard. It's not just the ghost story, it's the real fear, the tragic backstory, and the weird stuff his camera actually caught. Believing in ghosts or not, one thing's for sure, this wasn't your average camping trip. Alright, so let me tell you a creepy story that's been floating around for years about Blackbird State Forest in Delaware. People have been whispering about weird stuff going on down there, unsolved murders, folks taking their own lives, and all kinds of spooky ghost sightings. And it's not just stories. Folks say they got this heavy, uneasy feeling while hiking or camping, like someone's watching them from the trees. Now there's this one camping spot that stands out, Site B08. It's way off the beaten path, tucked far from any other campgrounds or park facilities. Mostly it's used by deer hunters as a base during hunting season. But it's isolated. Real isolated. And that's where things get even weirder. A video's been making the rounds lately. Some guy decided to spend the night alone at Site B08 and caught something freaky on camera. As he pans around with his flashlight, you can clearly see a pair of eyes reflecting in the distance. Not animal eyes either. These things were at eye level, human height. But before you can get a really good look, whatever it is ducks out of view. Gone. No one knows what it is, but folks who already felt uneasy about Blackbird Forest, yeah, this just cranked up the fear to 11. Site B08, not exactly on anyone's weekend getaway list now. Alright, let me tell you about Jacob Cockle, the dude people started calling the whirlpool hitman. It all kicked off in 2011 when Jacob, a guy from Cornwall, dropped a 20-second YouTube video of this little whirlpool near his home. He slapped a ridiculous title on it, biggest whirlpool in the world. Well, it wasn't, not even close. The video blew up though, probably because of how clickbaity it was. People roasted him so hard in the comments he had to turn off likes and dislikes just to hide the hate. Now most folks would have backed off after getting clowned like that, but not Jacob. No, he doubled down. He started pumping out whirlpool videos like crazy. Sometimes he'd mix things up with skits, but really it was just about getting the clicks. One of his classic tricks, filming the same whirlpool, this one spot called the Carol Pool, and pretending it was from India, Hawaii, wherever. Same whirlpool, new lies. I gotta respect the hustle for this guy. Jacob was clearly obsessed with these swirling death traps, but things took a darker turn in 2012. He stopped just filming them, he started jumping into them. swimming around, filming underwater, getting real up close and personal. Turns out he was a solid swimmer, into surfing, and had a bit of a reckless streak. His family said that he'd always been a risk taker, but after his sister passed away from a brain tumor, he went full send. Started doing stuff like jumping off of railway bridges, got the cops on his case more than once. Then came his wildest phase. He posted a video called Justin Bieber vs. Whirlpool, complete with a fake picture of Bieber holding a sign saying he'd jump into a whirlpool if you shared the video. Classic internet bait. But just 2 days later, tragedy struck. Jacob's body was found floating in the Caro pool. At first, no one knew what happened, but soon a video surfaced. Jacob diving into a whirlpool wearing a horse mask. Another camera he was holding showed his final moments. Reports say that a powerful current sucked him into a drainage tunnel, dragging him 70 meters underwater. He drowned. It was heartbreaking. The guy was quirky, reckless, and kind of a troll, but he loved what he did. Jacob Cockle died chasing the whirlpool he couldn't stop filming. Rest in peace, whirlpool guy. A quiet, camera-shy guy named Storm Dwell, 22 years old from Belgium. He wasn't just your average content creator. Storm wasn't even talking in his videos, just pure, raw footage of the stunning Scandinavian backcountry. That was his vibe. Back in August of 2024, he launched his YouTube channel, Storm Outdoorsy, and uploaded his very first video. No fanfare, no monetization, just a guy with a deep love for nature showing the world what he saw through his lens. And guess what? It worked. That first video pulled in 25,000 views. Not bad for a guy who'd never said a word. Storm kept it up. Every couple of weeks he'd post a new video, just him and the wilderness. No tutorials, no survival tips, just peaceful, cinematic journeys through snow-covered forests and wild mountain ranges. You could tell he wasn't doing it for the fame or the money. The guy just wanted to share the magic of the wild. Storm was never one for city life or big crowds. According to his parents, he didn't exactly fit in with modern society. And honestly, he didn't try to. Before YouTube, he had already biked all the way from Belgium to Scandinavia. Dude loved the solitude, the challenge, the silence of the wild. But here's the part that hurts. Nature, as beautiful as it is, doesn't care how much you love it. His last video went up on October 23rd, 2024. You see him in it, out there in the freezing cold, no shelter, just raw survival. Then, on October 29th, Storm set off for another solo hike in northern Sweden. That's when things went south. A snowstorm hit, sudden and violent. But Storm, being the seasoned adventurer that he was, didn't panic. He called his grandma, said he'd be fine. He even sent a buddy a video showing snow completely filling his boots and backpack, like it was just another day outside. But that storm was no joke. Winds were ripping trees out of the ground, and the cold was brutal. It felt like -1 Fahrenheit. Somewhere along the way, Storm seems to have fallen and busted his nose. That, plus the dropping temps, pushed him to his limit. At 2:36 in the morning, he sent out an SOS to Swedish rescue services. But the blizzard was so intense, helicopters couldn't take off. Hours passed. When they finally got to him the next morning, it was too late. They found him around 10 a.m. on October 30th. Storm's legs were frozen stiff, his nose broken, his pack holding just a toothbrush and a sleeping bag. The cold had claimed him. The news broke the next day. Details were murky at first, but once people figured out who he was, it spread fast. His family spoke to the press, sharing their final moments with him and their heartbreak. His dad, he's vowed to go back to Sweden one day. He wants to find Storm's camera, because on that camera might be the last thing his son ever filmed. Charles, the guy who runs Tanner Charles' YouTube channel, heads out on another one of his wild storm chasing trips. He's got his camera, his gear, and that adrenaline rush that he lives for. Destination, HRI. Seems like just another day of chasing twisters, but little did he know, this trip was about to get way more intense. Emotionally, not just meteorologically. So there he is, driving along, when suddenly a tornado touches down, and it's a beast. You can hear it in his voice: shock, fear, awe, all rolled into one.
There it is, right there. Oh my God! Oh my gosh!
This wasn't just a funnel cloud in the distance, it was real, it was close, and it was powerful. He kicks into storm chaser mode, following it, heart pounding, hands probably shaking. Then things shift, fast. Turns out this storm wasn't just for show, it slammed straight into a neighborhood. And now, Charles wasn't just chasing weather, he was in the middle of a disaster zone.
Oh my gosh. Is he okay? Oh my gosh. You okay? All right. Come on, Rear's house. Yeah, let's go. Let's go check on him, okay? Here, you're okay. Here, just get in there. Okay, you feel me, okay? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go check on your parents.
They rush over, chaos everywhere, debris, destruction, but Charles stays calm, trying to help. This was the home of an elderly couple, and now it's rubble. But the couple's son was already on his way, and together with Charles, they dig through the mess, trying to find them.
Are you okay? Here, you can get in my car. Here, let's take our time though. Let's take our time, okay? Let's take our time.
And somehow, miraculously, they do. The elderly couple had been trapped, but they were alive, bruised, shaken, but breathing. Emergency crews got them to the hospital just to be sure, but no major injuries, thank God. But the home they'd lived in for decades leveled.
I'm just glad you guys are okay.
Did you come from that way?
I did.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Did you get hit in the head?
Yes.
It just hit dust directly. It just wiped everything out.
Jennifer, a Casper, Wyoming native, once shared a chilling story that led the crew to Crimson Dawn Park on Casper Mountain. Known for the legends of witches, ghosts, rituals, and strange creatures, the area had an eerie reputation, and Jennifer's experience had only added to it. About 30 years ago, while still in high school, Jennifer went camping near the park with two friends. What began as a peaceful night turned terrifying when they were suddenly surrounded by figures in dark cloaks. The group gave chase, forcing the teens to flee in their truck, convinced they were about to be kidnapped for a ritual.
Who hurt my friend Jennifer? I tried to hurt her. Man, this is just beautiful. I hear a voice. Can you come to the window? What's your name? I hear you. Speak really loud and slow.
Years later, Jennifer's team returned to the site, drawn by the mystery. The forest felt quiet, almost too quiet. As questions were asked into the air, the REM pod lit up, seemingly responding to inquiries about spirits, rituals, and Jennifer's experience. Voices, some clear, others whispery and strange, echoed through the trees.
Is it still going crazy? Yeah. That's weird. I'm coming back and it stops.
When asked if a witch or land spirit was present, the device lit again.
Yes. But we have to go. It's... Can you stop, please?
A man's voice was faintly heard, and the team offered herbs as a peace gesture, receiving more activity in response. They left respectfully.
Okay, well, thank you. We wish you peace. I'm going to leave you a few herbs. Hopefully they'll bring you peace.
The message was clear. Crimson Dawn remembers, and something there still remembers Jennifer. And if you're still planning that weekend camping trip, maybe double check your flashlight batteries. Or better yet, just stay home. And for more chills, check out this next video.